really excited about our next speaker. Now, why I'm particularly excited about Brad, Brad's got over 23 years experience working with software organizations, the sales organization specifically. So he's done a great job at bringing in leaders, particularly with international and US companies that have been landing in the UK.
Hi, James.
Brad, you're there. Hello, welcome. I'm going to continue with the bio.
Thanks.
Brad, as I mentioned, established the first sales software recruitment team at CD over 23 years ago. I could not think of a better individual that can guide leadership in their hiring, firing, furlough decisions right now. And he's going to talk more broadly in terms of how you can think about the sales organization, your company's growth. Throughout today, we're talking a lot about this new world. And what I love about Brad is he's got the ear of sales leaders, not just in this country, but around the world. So I think I feel really grateful for him speaking. Not only that, CD has also become a gold partner of sales confidence. We would not be developing and growing at the pace that we are, even during this crisis, without the support and goodwill from people like Brad. So I'd like to say thank you for that, Brad. So in over 23 years, that's staggering. CD have placed over 16,000 people into software companies across 27 countries and 6 continents. And with a national team operating out of New York City, Surrey and Manchester, they've become the go-to recruitment business for fast growth SaaS companies. And that's what this network is about. That's what Richard, Andreas, Charles, Lewis, that's what you're all part of. Now, in the last 3 years, his leadership has taken responsibility for supporting companies like White Hat, Snowflake, MongoDB, Unravel, and Vera. So he knows what he's doing. And Brad, I'm excited for you to take on your 7 minutes. Good luck.
Thanks for the kind intro, James. Good afternoon, everyone. I've got 7 minutes. I'm going to try and pack as much into it as possible. 3 insights for you. And hopefully some takeaways for sales leaders on the call. So first off, we all know the unprecedented times that we're living through right now. But I'd actually like to build the case for some optimism. That's right, optimism and confidence in the market. It is out there. So with the focus, the shift towards easing the lockdown in the next few weeks and coming months, I want to give you 5 reasons why I feel there should be some confidence right now and what's happening, certainly what the feedback we're getting as a company as well. So first off, I don't think this will be a recession in the traditional form, the traditional sense that so many people on this call have worked through. Let's face it, we're working and we're living through a non-conventional recession right now. It's a shutdown, not a recession as such. So there will be potholes along the way, but assuming we can avoid some of those nasty things, I'm hopeful that economic growth will be deferred and not lost completely. Point 2, banks. Unlike the Great Recession of 2008, 2009, the banks are pretty healthy right now. Lots of capital, they're liquid, and if there's no banking crisis, then money should continue to flow into the economy. 3, stock markets. A lot of our clients are listed on NASDAQ or will be listed on NASDAQ in the future. And I mean, who would have thought 6 weeks ago, with the greatest fall ever in the stock markets, that so many shares in the stock market would have bounced back so greatly. So point 4 is the remote selling and remote hiring that's been mentioned. It's working. And companies are hiring. McKinsey have come out with a quote, almost 90% of sales have moved to a VC phone or web-based sales model since about 6 weeks ago. And over half of companies believe this is equally as effective, if not more effective, in terms of a sales model than before COVID. And the final point I'd sort of raise for confidence is the returning market confidence. We as a business, and I myself get a lot of feedback from the market, of course. There's been an adjustment period, and there's going to be continued adjustment period. but more and more companies are coming back into the market and hiring. My point is this: we all know the bad news. We all know exactly what's caused it. And this dreadful virus is going to be with us for some time. But we're pretty good at adapting. Good businesses adapt, and we're going to continue to adapt and get through this. That's insight one. Insight two is quite simple. In tough times, certainly looking back at the last recession, smart sales leaders recognize the huge hiring opportunity that exists right now. Following the 08-09 recession, I remember talking to lots of sales leaders who said one thing I did very well, albeit cautiously, was hiring these rock stars through the last recession. And the same thing's happening now. History is repeating itself. Some great sales leaders out there recognize the talent that's in the market. They kind of, I guess, take on a bit of Warren Buffett's mantra of, buy when there's blood in the streets, and it served him pretty well. And they are picking up, they are recognizing that it's a golden time to attract A players. I think there are three buckets right now. There's companies that are hiring, there's companies that are hurting, and I get that, and can't hire. But most companies are on hold. They're in a holding pattern. So the question to you guys as sales leaders is, should you be taking advantage of the market right now where there's less competition to pick up these A players that you need to grow your business and hit your goals? The third insight is, let's assume you're hiring, or you will be hiring soon. Is your hiring criteria right? Is it correct? I've been very fortunate, James mentioned at the start, in the intro, very fortunate to work with some of the most prolific, inspirational, highly successful software sales leaders over the last 20 odd years. And guess what? They all have the same playbook, and they all have the same hiring criteria. And there's four very simple hiring criteria that they're addicted to. Number one is intelligence. They focus on intelligence ahead of anything. And there's three buckets of intelligence, broadly speaking: IQ, EQ, and street smarts. I don't have time to go into any more on that, but they're the three things that you need to look for, and you need to be convinced on all three. The second, and equally important, is character. Now more than ever, you need to have lions in your team. You need to have great salespeople. So we all know that hiring resilient people is as obvious, but look for growth mindsets. You want people who say, whatever I put my mind to, I will achieve, not people with fixed mindsets. Look for people that maybe they've gone through some adversity or some harsh times in their life, because guess what? They're going to handle rejection better. And we get rejected every day as sales leaders, salespeople. Look for highly competitive people, and look for people that maybe have done something just a little bit special in their life today as well. By special, I mean things that most people out there don't do. So intelligence and character are always the top two, because you can't teach those two things. Very important. The third thing is coachability. Do people have a thirst for learning new skills? Have they proved that in their life to date? Look, if people are coachable, smart, and tough, you as a strong, experienced sales leader can teach them the rest. That's my view, and that's the view of so many successful leaders out there. Give them those things, and I promise you they'll flourish. So the fourth criteria is experience, and it's fourth for a reason. And this is where I think some companies go wrong, and I'd ask you to question, are you putting too much emphasis on experience? Because it can set you up for huge disappointment. I think I'm running out of time, James, so I'm going to stop there.
Brad, that was super valuable. Thank you. And I think it's great to hear some optimism. At the end of the day, what's happening around us in the world is happening. And those of us responsible for businesses and sales organizations need to focus on the controllables. And you provided an excellent framework. And I think we get the team to write that up in detail. So thank you, Brad. We'll have you back near the end for questions.
Thanks.